this time around, I've noticed a lot of people talk and there's questions. Is Joshua still hungry? Is he motivated? He's got 100 billion in his account. You know, is he the same geezer? And it's like all these questions, and it's like, you see me, I ain't changed. All that's happened is that I've learned. I studied a lot of boxing IQ, and I tried to adapt my style to become more of an intelligent, slick boxer, which is when I look at the greats and the boxing icons and analysts of the sport, the sweet science of boxing is hit and don't get hit. But that style does not change someone's heart and passion towards their craft, no way. But it's just their IQ tries to get better. But sometimes trying to improve your IQ and indoctrinating your raw talent to try and make it perfect ain't always going to happen in a fight, because sometimes you just got to dive in and smash this fucker up. It don't matter how you do it. Hit him to the hip, throw him on the floor, let the ref tell you off. It's a fight at the end of the day. The ref's there to get involved. So I tried to indoctrinate boxing and try and become smart, because I realised at a young age and early stage of my career, I start seeing I'm fighting the best back-to-back. I weren't taking on warm-up fights, interim fights. It was like back-to-back, champion after champion, and then I started realising I need to get better if I'm going to last at this level, because you don't always want to fight with your heart and fire as a heavyweight. I ain't going to have a brain cell left when I'm done. You know what I mean? If I'm getting smashed in my face every time, bang, 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 and I'm going to war every time, before you know it, my reflexes are gone, my power's gone, my speech is gone. So I started trying to be smart at that hit, lay back, counter, roll, counter. But ultimately, I think after going through that experience where time hasn't been wasted, I feel what I've learned from my last fight is it's important to have that boxing IQ, but in a fight, it's a spirit that you can't switch off. You have to have that fighter spirit. This is not just boxing. You can't. That's the amateur system, because it's 3 rounds. But over a 12-round fight, I have to go back to that spirit that I have deep within me. You know what I mean? And not focus so much on the boxing IQ.
That motherfucking Klitschko, that Dylan White, and Povetkin fighting spirit. I hear you, champ. This is Myron Magnus, and welcome to another segment of Boxing Logics United. There was Anthony Joshua back in the UK, in his hometown of Watford, from his American tour of pretty much interviewing and learning from various heavyweights in America. And many of the boxing world, of course, all of us been talking, especially myself, but like, okay, he's getting a new coach. But right now, what he's talking about is him in the process of incorporating different techniques, skills, and aptitude while being a 2-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. This is the part of the process when Anthony Joshua constantly remind us of, I'm still learning. You better catch me now. He's said this numerous times and occasions. You better fight me now, because I'm still learning. And that is what he's talking about there. Learning how to slip, roll with punches, countering. The difference between countering, counter-punching, and counter-attacking. Just like I said in a video not too long ago, Anthony Joshua, his loss, the loss he's taken, is closing his experience gap with those who started boxing at 7, 8, 9, 10. In contrast to Anthony Joshua, who started boxing at 19. And what he also said in this interview, this small segment and this is only part one, people, that heavyweight boxing is not like the amateur style. Okay? That's only 3 rounds and is about outpointing your opponent. When you're in a 12-round fight, it's about war. And so I have to tap in pretty much and bring out the beast again. That's all he's saying. And what it sounds to me, if we know Rob McCracken is an amateur coach for the most part of his career. He's one of the head coaches of the Olympics, is he not? So maybe somewhere in the training, with Rob McCracken spending so much time training amateurs and Olympians, so forth, that get mixed up in his training with Anthony Joshua, who is a heavyweight champion, heavyweight champion of the world. And those are 2 different worlds, amateurs and pros. Those are 2 completely different freaking worlds. So now Anthony Joshua, I think his experimentation process that he's been going through, the learning process, the curb has left the apex. Maybe the first championship, he was like this against Klitschko. Povetkin like this. Okay? Ruiz like this. Usyk this. And now he's come around the curb. And you know what helped him get around that curb? Humbling losses that he's learned from. And lucky for him, he's learning sooner than later. Now than never. This is Myron Magnus of Boxologics United. I got a lot more coming to you. Sit there, click on the next video. Peace and pugilism.